new tripod now.
Yes, so we're back here, just off Sydney Avenue at the weir in Castlefields, and as you can see, once again, it's been completely flattened, as we said. You can just see the houses at the back of Underdale Road there. Not sure. You'll have to check back on last year's video in the 2021 if it is actually higher. I haven't watched the video just before I came out or anything, so watch them back and please comment. Castle Walk footbridge. Yeah, Severn Bank. So welcome back to Third Rate Content. Yeah, once again, Shrewsbury in floods, but this time it's 2023. It's our third year covering the floods, but the River Severn has certainly burst its banks once again, and here in Shrewsbury it's running amok once again. But we're going to go and investigate just what's going on and the key scenes around Shrewsbury town centre, where the flood will be very visible. Not that it isn't, it's happening all around us. But anyway, buckle up and I'll see you out here. Yeah, just looking up towards the station there, train station. Lawes Tower in the background and St Mary's. Wind going mad. But yeah, that is a really wintry shot. Look at the sun there. And just looking towards the weir, although there's no weir visible. It's like the council are taking it away, and it's just flowing constantly with no drop. Of course, Severn Bank just here on the left, and Underdale Road, the back of Underdale Road in the background. We were just standing round the corner just up there at the start of the video. Yeah, thumbnail from the 2020 floods video, down underwater. Here we are in 2023. I think it could be as high as last year, if not a bit higher than 2022. Yeah, in the background, just on the right there, that is a Shrewsbury train station going over the River Severn on the viaduct, and that is the Three Arches. The second one there is where the destitute family would have been in Christmas Carol, and Christmas and George C. Scott as Scrooge, and Edward Woo Woo and Ghost of Christmas Yet to Be. All happened under there. Yeah, and I did say it could flood at any time in winter and they could all get washed away. Baked potato, brazier, kids and all. Yeah, we'll just go for a walk down here. Of course, we'd have been underwater in 2022. And by underwater, I want to clarify this. I don't mean completely underwater, I mean have my feet in the water. Yeah, just Smithfield Road up here, and I'm standing right in the middle of the road. Just looking at the approach onto Ellesmere Road just down there, where we were just a minute ago. If you remember, 2022, it was deluged, Smithfield Road. The road is closed, but I suppose if you've got to get access to your business or work or home, it's open. But it's kind of surreal down here because it's so quiet. And of course you've got bus station just here. Last time we'd have been just under knee height of water, I think, if we'd walked this far out, which we definitely wouldn't have done. This old sort of Georgian building did used to be a really nice cafe up to a few years ago, with a nice tea garden down there, but it was only open in the summer, so flooding wasn't a problem. Yeah, two Shrewsbury icons there. Wilfred Owen in the foreground, Martin Wood standing at the back. He hasn't made an appearance since the 2021 Christmas Carol Third Rate Content video. And of course it really is the Sabrina's time now, the Roman named goddess of the River Severn. Yeah, just stepping out into Smithfield Road, I'm not even looking both ways, and I would always recommend you look both left, right, left when crossing major roads in this country. But as you can see, the road is dead. Oh yeah, you probably noticed I've got my sunglasses on today, and it's January. I probably look a bit douchey, but it is very, very bright. I don't know if you can see the sun back there. Every time I go around a corner, when I'm not wearing my sunglasses or I've been driving today, I've been blinded. Yeah, well, what we're about to go and see is a first on our third-rate content flood coverage thus far, is the Frankwell flood defences in operation. So let's head over Frankwell footbridge and have a look. Yeah, if you remember last year, the river, we're just on our way to look at the flood defences, but the river came over the barrier, onto the path here at Smithfield Road. There is no barrier, onto Smithfield Road, and it had deluged, I almost dropped my phone then. It deluged right up to about there on the Salopian, and all the way up to about here, I think. So I'd say the river is several feet off. You can see the flood defences just run along here. See the theatre in the background, the stew just here, which is already featured on third-rate content, and Shrewsbury University used to be the council offices, and it was built for the council about 20 years ago. This is very interesting for me because I've never seen it before in actually on the front line in use. But yeah, as you can see, it really is. It's flood defences. I don't know what I expected, but yeah, to me that's the beauty of this particular flood, is I've got to see things. We have got to see things we've not seen before. Oh, let's go and get my car back. I think it's just parked over here. Uh-oh. Yeah, let's just go down and have a closer look at the flood defences, see how they're coping. And bear in mind, the water on the other side of here is probably up to about there, so they're doing very, very well. Admirably. Yeah, and on this side, I'd say the water's up to about, at least up to there. We'd be deluged. We'd be up to our knees if there wasn't for the flood defences. Praise be to the flood defences. Education has not suffered because of the floods, thanks to the flood defences. Praise be to the flood defences. I think we'll go and have a little look at Frankwell. This is just from the other side of the flood defences, as you can see. Yeah, all is well in Frankwell in the floods, Shrewsbury floods 2023. Yeah, a partial restriction on traffic here, just as we approach the Welsh Bridge, but otherwise it's still flowing traffic. Off the Welsh Bridge there, standing in the middle of the Welsh Bridge now. Just standing on the other side of Welsh Bridge. Yeah, I won't want to fall in now. Look at them currents. There was a water gauge situated just in front of that green box, and it was there until after the 1960s. I think the Sabrina was a lot higher on its moorings in 2020. I don't know why I'm thinking that, really. Very good to see both Hickories and the Armoury, both restaurants, are so far unaffected by the floods. Let's hope it continues. Though sadly, the riverbank is no longer on the riverbank. It's become temporarily part of the river, so it's closed this weekend. That weekend would be the weekend of Friday the 13th, 2023. Let's hope things get better quickly. Yeah, the blokes there working that machine are actually taking the opportunity gained by the floods being in effect to get some roadworks done with their gritting machine. Yeah, the Shrewsbury Hotel, just over there, at the bottom of Mardle, just on Smithfield Road, is one of the pubs that's been flooded, along with the Slopian Bar, quite a few times over the years, and been hit hard in the last 3 years in particular. But like the Slopian, it's had a new cellar built above ground, so that if it does flood, the pub and the bar is flood recoverable. You've got the Port Hill footbridge just here, and the boathouse, bar and restaurant just behind it. Very nice place. And then you can see the River Severn. The Sabrina has completely burst its banks, and the quarry. Shrewsbury School in the background. It's up on the hill, and you can see a bit of a Shrewsbury School boathouse there. Though I imagine it's too flooded to actually launch the boats at the moment, ironically. This property just off Kingsland Bridge, I imagine it was reimagined about 10 years ago, and I imagine it was built with flood recoverability in mind. Yeah, just here on Kingsland toll bridge, see a sports ground, Shrewsbury Girls High School, underwater, flooded, not underwater, well it is actually, it's underwater, and the river burst its bank. Of course, you can walk down here normally, this avenue of trees, in much better times. You know, boats getting launched today, too much water. Already made that joke. Yeah, we're just looking off town walls once again. As you can see, the Crescent, Crown Green Bowling Green, deluged. More Shrewsbury High School, Girls High School pitches underwater. Old Shrewsbury Bowling Club just in the background there, also underwater. Though, I've said it before, but in the long run, the nutrients that actually, it's a bit like the Nile deluge in Egypt, Lower Egypt, back in the day, it'll actually do the pitches a lot of good in the long term. Obviously not the hardcore tennis pitch though. Isn't it ironic, the one that doesn't get flooded is Sevenside, which is now closed and won't be opening in April. Something that did annoy me in the town walls video I made. A few things annoyed me, but they always do. But I didn't mention that all these pitches are actually owned by Shrewsbury Horticultural Society, all of them, including Sevenside, which is now closed. But the actual clubhouse, just see peeking over the top there, was paid for by a very successful local businessman back in the 20th century, mid 20th century, or early, can't remember actually. Mr. Delaporte, who was a very famous retailer in Shrewsbury. We may do a video on him at some point on third rate content, but he was a keen Crown Green bowler, and he paid for the very beautiful clubhouse, which we can't actually go and get a better look at today because the car park's underwater. St. Julian's Friars. Oh, Sevenside, back of it, an old Shrewsbury Bowling Club there. Yeah, back in the 2020 floods town underwater video we did, if you remember, British Telecom van got flooded under here, and then they had to send, we did 2 videos, they had to send a rescue vehicle to go and tow it out. I think whoever left it in there, that van, would have been in a bit of trouble possibly, or maybe not, I don't know. Floods in the background and the really hideous 1950s brutalist telecom house. But we're not doing history videos today, or architecture videos, we're doing floods, so I need to stay on focus, third rate focus. Yes, St. Julian's Friars, once again completely deluged. don't think anyone's left their cars here. Usually someone does leave a car here, gets caught out, but not this year. Yeah, it's a funny one this year because places like this, it looks as bad as last year, 2022. But then, for example, Frankwell or Smithfield Road don't look so bad at all. So I suppose it's just a few feet either way makes a huge difference. You know, it would come up just that bit further here, so I might not notice it being higher. But on Smithfield Road, that 2 or 3 feet makes all the difference, I suppose, I think. As you can see, there's no flooding on the approach to English Bridge like there was last year, and there's also, thankfully, no flooding down here. Let's hope it stays that way this year. The NCP car park, you had all the pumps going here. The water was right up to here, and there was no traffic flowing. The line of pheasant was closed. Water was lapping at the doors, and there was no customers or guests at the hotel. I'm very glad there is this year. Just standing on English Bridge, just looking upstream or downstream, should I say, and yes, it's very much in flood. Looks almost like last year from here. Marine Terrace, just off English Bridge. I lived, as I've told you before, but I lived on the one on the end there, and I would say that that is about as high as it got when we were living there, when I was living there, about 12 years ago. It came into the cellar. It filled up the cellar in a day once, and it got outside, so you had to basically go around the back or trod through the water, but it didn't come actually into the house. And it thankfully hasn't this year. A beautiful Carline Crescent there in the background. Third-rate fact for you here: there are exactly 33 properties available, 33 dwellings or properties available at Carline Crescent. Yeah, I thought I'd take this chance, another informal video really. No, the main narrative is the floods, of course. Just to give you a little talk about third-rate content again. We've been doing edited content on third-rate content since 2018, since early 2018. I think it was about March. I never thought I'd be able to learn to edit videos, but it was a lot simpler than I thought, and I just was amazed that I could do it. I'd had the channel, released a few short videos previous to that, you know, just sort of holiday things, but I did my first third-rate content video, which was coming up 5 years, its anniversary, which was the Gaboan Snack Shack, the abandoned Gaboan Snack Shack, which is still on the channel, still viewable. If you want to laugh, go and watch it. But I hope we've improved a bit since then. But for the first 3 years of third-rate content, it was just a hobby. Well, it is a hobby now, but it was just something I did now and again. I had other hobbies that I was doing, other pastimes, and I just would chuck out 4 or 5 videos a year. I probably released a third of the channel's overall content has been released in the last 12 months. So we've really upped the frequency and consistency. Still working on the quality though. Yeah, so and the last 12 months we've really been doing weekly videos, which we never did before, and the consistency has hopefully made me better. I feel it has. I'm not saying I'm good at the moment, but I'm improving. Considering I've got no training in this sort of thing, I'm enjoying it anyway, and I hope you all are too. But we're going to continue, as I've said before, with the content. I'm not quite a bit, but I'm several weeks ahead of schedule at the moment, so there'll be no let up for emergencies or anything like that for a few weeks. But hopefully nothing like that happens, and we can just keep going as we are. But that's pretty much what I want to say today. That's the story, the third-rate story, history story of the channel for today. So you know, keep watching the coverage of the floods. Yeah, just here at the back of the Parade Shopping Centre, as featured in a third rate content video previously, just having a look at the extent of the flooding from this viewpoint. It does look significant, but not as bad as 2022. Yeah, Carline Crescent just there in the background has featured, I think, in our column, one of our column videos from last summer. So we're going to wrap it up about there for our coverage of the 2023 floods so far this year. Hope there aren't too many more. But thanks for watching to the end. Hope you enjoyed it. I take it you did enjoy it if you watched to the end. Thank you anyway. I'm also going to take this chance just to thank any new subscribers to third rate content. We've received quite a few in the last month, and all I can say is welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, and thank you to everybody else who's been a subscriber for longer. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Bye bye.